All right, everybody, welcome to Open Up. I'm Andy,
I'm Jay.
and this is Open Up. Open up your mind,
Open up your conversation.
open up your world with Andy.
And Jay.
All right. So tonight we're going to talk about what if. What if we all come together as a nation, as a world, not even just limited this to the states. You know, we're here and we're actually doing this in Southeast Louisiana right now. We're both from the Southeast Texas area. Jay's from Houston. I'm from over in Southeast Texas, close to the Louisiana border. We just want to talk about what if, man. What if we come together as people, as a people? Jay had some thoughts about it.
Yes, and put your color, your opinions, and all that to the side, and just think about doing the right thing.
Yeah.
For everybody as a whole.
So that's why we started this podcast for. We just wanted to get out here and try to bring people together, and do it that way, man. So we've had some good conversations. Jay's a good friend of mine. We hadn't known each other that long, but man, we've really hit it off and been opened up a lot of stuff, and that's what we're all about right now, is just open up. We want y'all to come together as friends and you know, just love each other, man. Just be there.
And we realize too that we're not going to agree with everything,
That's right.
but at the end of the day, we can walk away and still say, hey, he got a different opinion or see something different than I see it, but at the end of the day, we're going to still be friends.
We don't have to agree to be friends.
No.
We can agree to be friends even when we don't agree, right?
Yes, and that's what it's all about. And as a world and as a nation, we should be able to do the same.
That's right. That's right. There's powers out there, man, that are trying to divide us. We're, you know, together we're strong. You know, divided we're conquered kind of deal. And it just has eaten up at me and Jay. We've both had this on our hearts for a long time, so we wanted to get together and talk about it with y'all. So what do you think, man? We've got an email we'll give to you here at the end of the show, and you can send us your opinions and let us know what you think. And we're open for topics too. We'll talk about anything. We really will. Tonight we're going to bring up what if and if. What if we just told the people that are in power we're not going to put up with it anymore? How would that work?
Yes, and even with for my conversation, as far as if everybody was on the same page, they would have to bow down and listen to us. Even if they didn't change it right off the back, they would at least have to listen to everybody and take heed to what we're saying.
Yeah.
But it takes everybody doing it. You got to put aside the race, the color, all. Like I say, whatever you think you was taught, and you think, oh man, I'm not gonna listen to that person because his skin color or something like that. You got to look past it. That's the only way that we're gonna be able to make a change.
How do we get there? How do we get there? I mean, really, you know, we know that a lot of people can't do that. Okay, we actually experienced that recently. That we ran into a guy that was just. It was just nuts, and we're not going to bring up names or go into any details on that. But Jay and I personally experienced a guy that just couldn't get past that color thing, and so how do we get past that? How do we approach somebody like that doesn't get past that color? Do we just write them off?
No, that goes back to what we're talking about. Open up we can't just expect everybody to open up to me and you. We got to open up to their thoughts and what they was brought up seeing and what they believe. So we sit back and we think, why is he thinking like that? And then we sit back and say, okay, well, give us what would help change your mind? What would help for you to see it a different way? And I think that's the approach we got to have. We can't, just because they not thinking like we think, we got to sit back and say, well, why are they thinking like that?
A lot of it comes down to the golden rule type thing, you know, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And you got to treat people with respect. Yes. Okay, you really do. You got to treat people with respect. Sometimes it's hard to respect stupidity sometimes.
Yes, it is. And it irritates you. But like I say, for us to accomplish what we really trying to accomplish with the open up, we got to be open up to other people's ideas. Not saying that we
Oh, yeah, yeah,
agree
yeah,
with
yeah.
it and go
That's
along
right.
with it. We just have to get in people's minds and wonder, why do they think that way?
That's right. Well, and there's a difference just between ideas and hate.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
There really is. There really is. And hate is it's a wolf. You know, it's like a wolf in that old story. We talked about this before. That old wolf that the Indian was telling his grandson about. You know, and there's a good wolf and a bad wolf,
Yes.
and which one survives, and it's the one that you feed. You
Yes.
know, so if you feed hate, it grows stronger. If you
That's
feed
what it is,
good,
and-
if you feed love, it grows stronger. So
And what people are seeing now, as far as what the TVs and social media are showing them,
man,
it helps that. If you're a hateful person,
they're feeding it.
Yes, they
Yeah.
feeding it. But like you said, it goes back to what are you feeding?
Yeah,
Am I feeding love or am I feeding hate?
that's right.
It's
That's
no
right.
in between. You want it to be a gray area, but at the end of the day, it's nothing no different. You have to say, what am I going to decide to feed today?
That's right.
And if you feed the hate gonna come out. My whole take on it is, a seed is planted no matter where you go. Like us being right here, this is seed that we trying to plant for it to grow years from now.
That's right.
And it's the same way with love and hate. What you was brought up with and what was planted in you by your parents, your grandparents, or whoever, that's what our parents and grandparents are seeing out of us,
That's right.
because a seed that they planted in us.
That's right.
Like I say, it's for me, I didn't grow up I wasn't taught black and white or
Right.
hate this person or don't like this person, because when you put people in a box, that's what happens. You assume that everybody is the same.
And that's not the truth.
That's not
That
the
is
truth.
not the truth.
And like I say, my grandparents never taught me, oh, you don't like this person because of the color of their skin. I was always taught, you treat everybody with love and respect. Treat people how you want them to treat you. It didn't matter the color. So once I got older and I started seeing the different hate, seeing what other people was brought up and taught, I was like, I don't remember this. I didn't see nothing like this. So, but it still makes you sit back and wonder, how can you make a difference?
But you have experienced racism.
Oh yes, I experienced, and that's what. And to be honest with you, a lot of people that haven't experienced, they don't believe it exists.
And see, I truly haven't. I haven't experienced it.
Yeah.
I'm a old white guy, and I say that, you know, not bragging. I somehow or another God kept me alive this long. I don't know, but the thing about it is I've never really experienced racism towards me. Okay, now I experienced it last week, you know, and it was just shocking to me. I was fuming, and I've talked to a lot of people, and I like to open up conversations. I like to talk to people, and I'll never understand. Okay, so being growing up in a white family, and not really being around in small country towns most of my life. I've been around people of color, but I've never really been around them when they experience racism. Okay, and I've never experienced it myself. Not like what I saw before. But so I have to talk to people, okay, in order to understand what they go through and how they feel, and it's just it's shocking to me what people have had to live with in America, you know, and it was eye opening. It was eye opening for me. It really was.
just to know that you can get pulled over because of the color of your skin,
Right.
and get asked question about what type of car you're driving and how can you afford this type of car, and it makes you see that side of it different. It makes you wonder why do they treat me this way?
Right.
I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm not doing nothing illegal. So why do I get treated and asked these type of questions? And it's basically boils down to the color of my skin. So like I say, I done been pulled over and just leaving my job and driving a nice car, and the police take all my money, lay it on the concrete, lay me on the ground for no apparent reason. For
Right.
he say a ticket, but a violation of a ticket, but But at the same
yeah, but
time,
that's a ticket. Okay, so in that same instance right there, I've been pulled over plenty of times, for violating traffic laws.
Yeah.
Okay, and got tickets, but I've never had them make me empty all my money out,
Yes.
ask me why I'm driving this kind of car, lay me down on the concrete for no apparent reason.
Yes.
Okay, so there is a deal. Okay, and I haven't always been a clean cut old guy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
But it's shocking to me that still goes on. And,
oh yes.
but it does. It
Yes.
absolutely does.
And I think that's what gets the American people and people who have never experienced it. That's what makes them say there's no way that's still going on after all the country has been through with the Civil War and
Right.
and emancipate all that kind of stuff. So it makes people wonder: are they really telling the truth that this happening? So when you start seeing the stuff on TV, like you said, it goes back to what I said earlier. That seed that's been planted,
Yeah.
not just in us, and those people too.
Right.
Now we just able to see it.
The thing about exactly,
Yes.
and social media and stuff has really brought a lot of stuff out.
Yes.
But the point is here, I think that we've come a long way. Okay,
yes.
since the middle 1800s. But good grief, that was 150 years ago. We should have come a long way. We've come a long way since I was a kid in the 60s, because I was alive when Martin Luther King was alive. We've come a long way since then, and the civil rights. I was alive for all that. But the thing about it is, we need to go further. Okay, we need to get further on. We need to open up.
Okay, tell me what you mean when you say you feel like we done came a long way.
Okay, let me think about this for a second. What do I mean when I say we came on? I mean, in the 1800s, women couldn't vote. Blacks dang sure couldn't vote. Okay, so I mean, and look at the changes. If you go back and you look at the way it was bad. Okay, Jay. I mean, it was real bad. There was no respect for a person of color back then. Beaumont, Texas. Okay, you can go in the courthouse today and see on the concrete. Now the signs are gone. Okay, but there's still an imprint on the granite where the sign used to be that says whites only for the bathrooms. We've come a long way from that. We really have come a long way from that.
I believe that, but like I say, it's still a lot that has to take place.
Absolutely.
I feel like
I'm not disagreeing with that.
From 100 years ago, we still talking about peace and equality.
Yeah.
It should be a different message now. It should be more and more. What have we done to eliminate that, where everybody's on the same level?
Yeah.
And like I say, us having opened up, that's what this is about. This is not about us trying to bash one race, but because at the end of the day, my opinion and my thoughts are God see one race, the human race.
That's right.
I don't believe he sees black and white.
I will guarantee you he does.
Because he made us all in his image. So
that's right.
How could we? Why are we fighting this way?
That's right.
And like I say, it's betrayed by. That's what they want us to do, to keep us from seeing what they really doing to us.
And we get back to the they right there. Yes. Okay, that's some people that we really wanted to start this what if about is the people that are truly in power. Okay, so and it comes back to the seed. Okay, that Jay talked about, because if you plant a seed, then you feed that seed, you water it, and you try to grow it, and the more you cultivate that seed, the more it grows. The plant grows, and then it's growing. It gets roots in there, and that seed is hate, and it's publicized. Okay, it is truly publicized on our news, on our social media. If you turn it on, how much good news do you see now on TV? I mean, really. How much good news do you see? You don't see good news hardly. If you really search for it, you might find a show that's got some good news on it only. I listen to a Christian radio station a lot, and they have good news. It's a uplifting deal, but that's it. You know what I mean? You go to mainstream media, you go to and I'm not talking about one political leaning way or not. We're not talking about, and just to clear this up for the listeners, we're not talking about political parties here. Okay, we're talking about everyday people like Jay and I. Okay, that's it. We're not talking about political parties, and I don't care who he votes for Tuesday. I really don't. He can vote for whoever he wants to, and that goes for everybody listening. I don't care who you vote for. It's awesome. Just vote. Okay, vote. It does matter because that's how we can control our country. Okay, we've got to get control of our country as a people. I think that we don't really have control anymore.
But as long as they can continue to separate, promote fear into us, we'll never be able to come together to really see when, like you said, when we say they, we're talking about the people that's over who make this world go as we think it should go. But at the end of the day, if we can stop those people, because the people are the one who really hold the power. Us working class people, the people who want to take care of their families and who paying taxes, who are involved in their neighborhoods. We the ones who really make the difference. The people hold the power. But at the end of the day, we don't realize how much power we have. Because if we realize that, we can stop a lot of the stuff that they try to throw on us. Like I say, the tax thing and stuff like that, that's the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we can, with all the people that's in your neighborhood, if everybody donated to that neighborhood, you wouldn't need the government to regulate. You wouldn't need the government to come in and say, okay, we're going to give you this or we're going to give you that. You'll have everything you need in your community, and y'all will be able to pay for it. And guess what? Orchestrate how it should be ran. A lot of times this stuff come up. I'm just using one example. HOA.
Yeah.
What do they really do? Besides tell you what you can't do.
I don't have an HOA, and I am thankful that I don't.
But that's one of those where the government allowed an organization to come and regulate how you're going to live. And at the end of the day, who paying them?
Yeah, you are.
And I thought about this. Me and my wife had this conversation. I say, when I bought my house, they come out and measure what's your line, what's your perimeter, right?
Right.
So I stay on the corner, and at the corner, this part of the corner is not mine. Outside of that fence is not mine. But guess what? They require me to cut that like it's mine. So that's just an example. Just imagine if you didn't care nothing about that was out there. Be honest with you, they should be cutting it.
Well, you're paying them, ain't you?
You paying them?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what I mean when I say about.
So where's that money go?
To some rich people. To be honest with you, that go to some rich people who tell you what you.
It doesn't stay in Jay's pocket.
No, it doesn't. But like I tell y'all, it's so crazy how all that is meshed together. When I say the court system, one time, me and my wife went on vacation. I had my neighbor to put my trash can up on. The trash came on Tuesday. So I say, well, he knew that it came. I say, just put it in front of the garage. My son will get it when he come home. So something happened. My son forgot to get it. And
no, really?
And a man came by, took a picture. Next thing I knew, I get a ticket in the mail. So I'm like,
what?
Okay, a ticket.
Wait. So a guy drives by your house and takes a picture of your trash can?
Yes, on Wednesday. On Wednesday, they're going to come by and see whose trash cans is still left out from Tuesday.
So that's his job?
Yes, that's his job.
That's where all your money's going. He's got to keep that camera up.
No, but that's not it. Like I said, this is why I say the government is regulating that as well. Because guess what? I had to go to court. I had to go present my case in front of a judge and explain. And at the end of the day, I still paid $150 for my trash can being in front of my house, empty. In front of my garage.
Oh, you need to move.
No, but I'm just saying, in most neighborhoods that they are building,
it's the same way.
That's how it's regulated. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the government, anytime the courts start coming into play, all that is intertwined together. And they didn't want to hear nothing I had to say. So it's just one of them. You can't win.
How much was your court cost? You remember?
No, it was like the whole ticket after court cost me like $150.
So the judge made $75.
Yes.
You know, and everybody else, you know, they split that $75. So that's a pretty good tip for you leaving your trash can.
But just think about in that courtroom that day, it was at least 75 people dealing with the same HOA issues in their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So just imagine how much money they're
Oh, yeah.
generating
Yeah.
besides your monthly fees and stuff like that. That's why I say
That don't even count sales tax and
No.
road tax
No.
and all the other taxes, the federal tax that we pay for stuff. And I understand. Okay, we need to pay taxes to keep our country good. Okay, it's as a whole, we need. We're not saying go out there and don't pay your taxes. We're saying that we should get the regulation that well, not really regulation. Okay, so how was our country founded? Let me just drop this. Jay and I had this little conversation the other day. Why was our country, why was the United States of America founded? Why did we break apart from England? It was taxation without representation. Okay, England owned us at the time, basically, and we'd send all our tax money over to England, and we had no representation in the government. And I feel like, I know we vote, I know we have an electoral college, we have all this stuff going on, but I feel like we're really not seeing our money used the way it should be. Okay, there's so much waste and so
Yes.
much government spending, and we're not telling y'all anything y'all don't already know. All right. But what we are saying is we got to come together as a people. We got to come together and say, okay, I don't care what color y'all are. I don't care that he lives in that neighborhood or you live in that neighborhood or you voted for this guy or you voted for this guy or she or whatever. Okay, we don't care about that. Jay and I, neither one of us care about that. But what we do care about is the direction our country's headed, the direction our people are headed, all of us are headed with all this divisive crud that we're seeing all the time on the TV, on the news and newspapers, on social media, and it's just gotten out of hand. People are angry. Okay, people have a right to be angry sometimes, but I think that they're focusing that anger on the wrong thing. They're focusing that anger on the wrong thing.
And the people who really fought for the equality and stuff like that, I can only imagine what they would be thinking right now. Like, how is it going so well, so good for a minute, and all of a sudden it started turning, and like Andy just said, how do we get it back? How do we get it back in line? We have to have people with open minds, having a conversation, so we can not just enter into their world, but we can understand, why do you have these thoughts?
And that's it. It's opened up a conversation. That's what this is really started off of. Jay and I opened up a conversation one day, and it kicked off, and we're like, man, we need to put this on a podcast. So here we are. And you don't know how somebody else feels unless you talk to them.
Yes.
You've got to talk, and you've got not just talk to them, but you got to listen to them. Okay, because if you don't listen to them, you're just running your mouth. That's a good point. My guy's back here giving me hints, and he said 2 ears, 1 mouth. We have 2 ears and we have 1 mouth. So you can always close your mouth and use your 2 ears, and you'll learn a lot more than you will with your mouth open.
Because there's nobody that can have a conversation not supposed to by themselves. A conversation is for 2 people.
That's right.
So that's why we want to have this,
or at least more than one.
Yes, and we want to continue to have it, but we have to get everybody involved. We have to get people's minds to get outside of the box, get outside of what you do. I think one of the biggest things me and Andy discussed earlier was, when do we have conversations with people who don't just think like we do?
That's right.
Or who don't just look like we do? When do we go to someone and have a conversation with them that don't look nothing like us, don't have no type of appearance that we have?
That's right.
Or in the environment that we in? When do we have a conversation with them about just, why do you think this way?
And you have to take, a lot of times you have to take the step and reach out. Okay. And it's not hard. People want to talk to you. Okay. People want to tell you how they feel. I know I do. I want to tell people how I feel, and I want to hear how they feel. So it's easy to talk to somebody. I mean, I hadn't known Jay very long at all, and I said, hey man, what do you think about this? And man, we got off on a conversation, and it was just awesome. And you can do the same thing with anybody that you see. okay, you can do the same thing. You'll be surprised. You can be sitting by somebody in a restaurant and say, hey, how are you doing today? And you eat here a lot, or just open up and talk about stuff. But then, it doesn't have to be idle chit chat. Then you can find out when you start talking and listening, you'll find out that they've got a lot of feelings just like you do. Okay, just like you do. We're not different. We're
and-
really not.
And they really, like you said, they really want to talk, and they really want to share their thoughts with you, and they want to hear. A lot of times people are in situations where they can't voice their opinion, or they scared what their friends may say. So a lot of times they just keep it locked in, and you could be that person that can open up something to them, and I'm gonna take that back to my friends.
Yeah, and there's that seed.
Yeah.
Okay.
There go that seed.
There's that seed that you planted, and it doesn't take much. You just got to be nice to people, man. Be nice, love God, love people, and move on, and just like I said, just be nice to people, and you'll be surprised. It'll come back to you. Golden rule comes right back to the golden rule.
And it don't always have to be a confrontation. Most of the time is
No, it doesn't have to be.
You having a conversation, and don't get upset if somebody don't agree with you.
But
That's when your conversation really becomes meaningful, when somebody can have a conversation with you that don't think like you. Then you can start saying,
that's how you learn.
yes.
That's how you learn. And if you do, okay, so if you do get into a heated conversation, because people do, okay, yeah, if you think different than I do, sometimes we're gonna clash, and we're gonna get heated. But the thing about it is, talk it out, and then get over it. Okay, get over it.
You know what I figured out doing?
What's that?
You can tell when somebody want to get heated with you.
Yeah.
They'll throw certain things out there for you to say. They'll throw certain things. Let me see how he gonna react to this. And if you stay calm,
Debate.
yes, you when certain words trigger people. Certain words, they feel like, if I say this about a certain color or a certain name, people tend to think that you're going to get offended. So when you don't, guess what you do? You throw them off, and they like, oh, well, that's not going to work. I got to come with something else.
That's right.
Like I said, you're going to have confrontation with people. You can't get around it, but everything is based on, in a conversation, how you respond.
Yeah, because everybody in this world is not nice.
No, they not.
Everybody in this world is not nice.
They not.
But the thing about it is it's that seed that's been planted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if they're not nice, there's been a seed that's been planted somewhere down the line in their history. There's a reason they're not nice.
Yes.
Okay, everybody. So I don't know. I don't know how we get to the point to where we make everybody nice. But the only way we can do it is by being nice ourselves.
Yeah, you got to be the example.
That's
no
right.
No matter
That's
what.
right.
I can recall having a conversation with a person on an airplane going to coming from Houston to St. Croix. That's like I want to say 3-4 hour flight. And guess what? Me and this person talked all the way there, and we got to just have a conversation. And after that, we never seen each other again or
Yep.
nothing. But
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you, what we talked about, got to know each other. The guy felt like, man, it seemed like I've been knowing you. How did you even?
Yeah.
I never talked to anyone like this. And like you say, man, it's just all about having good conversation, having your mind open up to listen to people and hear what's on their heart. So the biggest thing for me is just keep loving people.
Yeah.
What you was taught, try to live by it. And sometimes some of the stuff you was taught, you have to turn away from that.
That's right. So
Yes.
everything you were taught when you was growing up may not be right.
May not be right.
May not be right. But you got to make up your own mind, and you got to think, is this really right?
Mm-hmm.
Should I really be thinking this way or acting this way or doing this or treating people this way? So anyway, I guess our point tonight is just open up, and that's what we wanted to start the show out with, is just open up your mind.
Open up your conversation.
And open up your world. And this is Andy.
This is Jay.
And we're going to be rolling it off tonight. That's the end of our time. So we thank y'all. We'll give you an email, and y'all got thoughts? Email us. Let us know. We're going to have it on YouTube. We're going to have it on lots of other media. So we'll get back with you. Enjoyed it. We'd like to thank all of our listeners.
We would like to thank all our viewers.
So please hit the like button and subscribe.
You can find us on all major podcast platforms.
And if you have a topic you'd like to discuss, comment below or email us at openup.pc@gmail.com.